The reason offers are really down, I mean, I think only 19% of offers that's compromised are accepted. It's because of all the nefarious firms out there that are ripping you off.
Most people want that offer and compromise, but the reality and what you hear on the news or the TV or in the commercials are totally different. Now, Mike, when you worked for the IRS, you made sure that everything lined up with what the IRS really could expect to collect from people. And you made your decisions that were fair, but you required them to provide a lot of documentation, right? So there's three bases for the IRS, and they can evaluate an offer and compromise about a doubt as to collectability or doubt as to liability. Can you give us a little color on those three bases for an offer and compromise, Mike?
Yeah, let me give you the worst first. And the first is effective tax administration. And that's someone usually later on in their years. They want to settle their IRS debt, but they have assets. And IRS looks at their mortality rates and they base their offer and compromise on what IRS thinks it's fair. It's very judgmental, but it's based on your mortality rates. And I think last year, IRS may have only accepted 3 of those offers and compromise, and they're really special circumstances. You contact Josh, he'll tell you what those circumstances is. The other is doubt to liability. That is that IRS assessed you all this money and you're having a hard time getting IRS to actually adjust the tax liability. Then you file an offer doubt as to liability. With that, you can offer $1, but you want someone at IRS to look at your case, reevaluate it, and make another decision based on the liability. It takes a lot more work, a lot more investigative tool, but you put the package together. And what's different about this offer, rather than go to an experienced revenue officer who looks at the collectability, it goes to a revenue agent who looks at the liability issue itself. So that's the difference. The actual doubt as to collectability, which is the major offer that everyone wants, only 7,000 were accepted. The other years, they go to 12,000 to 15,000 to 20. The reason offers are really down, I mean, I think only 19% of offers that's compromised are accepted. It's because of all the nefarious firms out there that are ripping you off because you're talking to a salesperson. The only way you know you're really going to get the truth is to talk to one of 4 people who actually are licensed to practice in front of IRS. And that's like a revenue officer, an enrolled agent, a CPA, or an attorney. They're the only people that can sign a power of attorney, give that to IRS, and have a conversation. If you're not speaking directly to one of those 4 people, the chances of you getting ripped off, my guess, are probably 75 to 80%. Always ask what the designation of that person is that you're speaking to.
Exactly. And so the IRS has got this thing called a pre-qualifier tool. It's an online tool. You're going to click some buttons. You're going to enter information. And it really is garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't give them good numbers, they might say that you are a good candidate, but in actuality, you might not. The same is true with one of these big name firms. They're going to ask you questions to see how much you have in your pocketbook to pay them first rather than the IRS. The bottom line is they're going to take things to a certain extreme in order to benefit themselves rather than looking out for your situation.
And they actually put fear in them, Josh. Josh will tell you, we had a client recently that they said that IRS could possibly foreclose on their house. And Josh, you know, that wasn't even the truth, was it?
The only time the IRS will take your house away is you're somebody they can make a public nuisance announcement about. Like there were some certain celebrities, like Nicolas Cage, I think, and maybe Rihanna recently, that they really wanted to make a public spectacle about this person to put fear in the hearts of all Americans. But for this pennies on the dollar program, if you use that online qualifier, it only works with the information you give it. That's the same question that we're going to ask when we're having a conversation with you on the phone to see if you're an offer candidate. We don't give you a solution or an exit strategy from your IRS problem until we get to know you and your financial situation to make the best possible solution for you happen.
And you know, we're going to ask you initial questions. You need to be prepared to answer us. What's your last letter you got from IRS? Have you filed all your returns? Have you fixed the problem? We want to know if you liquidated everything, what that value would be. And we want to know what your monthly income. We can probably assess 90% of your case, Josh, just with that information.
Right. And then when it's all said and done and you owe a pile of money to the IRS and you can't possibly afford that in your entire lives, that's where an offer and compromise makes a lot of sense. But penalties, taxes, interest, it's like the butter in a chocolate chip cookie. It's all baked in. They consider that all tax.
Or it could be one of the cookies actually. By the way, we're here. You want to tell everyone, is that a real background or is that a...
That is a real background. We're here in Clearwater, Florida, evaluating some properties for a national conference that Mike and I helped put together for advanced education for tax professionals.
I got 2 cookies for you if you call Josh. Josh will probably send one of these to you, but they're going to be old and probably we maybe sat on.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to send anybody.
Oh, come on, do that.
Cookies aren't the way. I don't collect your information either on my website. If you have any questions, give us a call or schedule a consultation on my website, besttaxpro.com. We've been wonderful.
We work thousands, by the way. Between the two of us, we work thousands of cases, and you'll always get the truth, correct?
Exactly. I hope this has been helpful.